Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to the 3POA podcast, episode 104. What's going on with my camera? There it goes. Much better. I'm your host, Laserpants, also known as Ryan. I am joined tonight by a very good friend of mine, a comic artist who you may have heard of. He's been on the show a couple times. Please welcome Quentin J. Bedwell.
Hello,
what's up, man? Thank you for filling in.
3POA fans. Nice to see you this evening.
Listen, thanks for filling in for Bobby. Everyone knows how he is. He's very pretentious. It's not our usual night to go live, so, you know, he had better things to do.
Celebrityism, you know.
Yeah.
I mean.
I'm hoping he's going to show up in a few minutes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I have a very special guest tonight. The reason why this is the 3POA show on a Wednesday is because I got a comic artist legend, 30-year veteran of the industry. Please welcome Ethan Van Sciver.
Hi, how you doing? Wow,
good,
great
man.
to be here. Hello, fellas.
I am so glad you came on tonight. I've been trying to get you on the show for a while, but, you know, it's hard. It's hard. You're a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff going on.
I got nothing. I've been begging you to be a guest on the show for a couple of years, and you've ignored every single one of my messages. I mean, all I do is sit around the couch and watch the Hallmark Christmas in July. So I don't have a whole lot going on. So I was happy that you finally got back to me and invited me on the show. And now there's this pretense of, you know, oh, you're so busy, Ethan. Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, okay, fine. You called me on it. All right, fine. I give in.
Sometimes you got to give back to the little guys, you know.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for this. Yeah, definitely.
Man. So, thank you for coming on. For those that maybe aren't familiar with you, which is like, to me, that's crazy. But could you give us a little bit of your history?
Yeah, I was. I started doing comics when I was 19. I'm from New Jersey, and started drawing a comic book called Cyberfrog, and I did it for the indies. And I did it. Then I went to Harris Comics and drew Cyberfrog. Then DC Comics picked me up around 1998 as an artist. I was able to do a bunch of work for them. I took a week. I took like a year and a half to go work for Marvel. I wish it was a week. Worked for Marvel and created a bunch of stuff for them for New X-Men. Came back to DC. Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth, Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, all that stuff was created by me. And then I got viciously canceled by SJWs because I voted for Trump and I bragged about it. And they told me that my vote was responsible for the mass murder of various and sundry leftists.
Right.
And they said, aren't you ashamed? Your peers are all going to die because of your vote. And I said, no, good. And then they canceled me for that, essentially. And yeah, they did. All the writers said, we're not going to work with Ethan because he said it's good that Trump is going to kill us. I didn't mean literally. I didn't think. The point was, I didn't think Trump was going to kill him. I was like, it's a silly thing to say to me. Don't put your extinction on my shoulders. I just pulled the lever for the Orange Man because I thought Orange Man good, and then you tell me Orange Man bad. It's not what I was expecting. So I didn't mean it. I want to apologize to all of them. Are you still alive? Are all of you still alive, or did Trump kill you in 2019 or whatever it was?
Listen, I'm still waiting for the death for the bloodbath.
Let's go. I mean,
Yeah,
let's do it already. Listen. We paid for the dinner. Let's eat it. Let's dig a big pit and kick them all into it. Let's go. Make it happen. Because I paid for my career in mainstream comics is over because of this. So anyway, the point is, Laser Pants been quitting. Here's the thing. Because of this, I started a YouTube channel called Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And I started they called me Comicsgate because they were like, they hated Gamergate. They feared and hated Gamergate. So they started calling people who were saying, hey, you leftists are screwing up comics. They started calling us Comicsgate. And I said, yeah, okay, we're Comicsgate. That's great. That's pretty cool. And then started a show called Comicsgate Live. We started crowdfunding our comics and made millions. And I think Cyberfrog so far, my main IP, has raised something like $8 million to date. Through crowdfunding. So it's I guess it's bit. Okay. You know, I guess
that's pretty good.
Yeah. I you know what? I cry myself to sleep over my cancellation on a big bed with a mattress stuffed with not $100
cash,
$1 bills.
50s, 20s.
Just ones and fives, but it's money.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, you first came on my radar about 2018.
Sorry about that. I was aiming for the bath towel.
Jesus. Yeah. We need new bath towels, honey. No, but you were covering Star Wars a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one of your videos popped up and I'm watching, I'm like, man, this guy's hilarious. He's cutting a Rose Tico action figure in half with scissors, ripping it apart. And then you start talking about your comic books that you're crowdfunding on Indiegogo, and I'm looking into it. I'm like, I dig deeper. I'm like, wait, this is the Green Lantern guy. This is the guy that wrote Green, because I love the Green Lantern. I read that stuff. I have all the books right here. So it was kind of surreal to see that all. I thought you were just a Star Wars guy like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Thank God you're not him. No. But no, you're actually, you're talented and you can draw. You have something to offer besides shitting on movies and television shows.
I can do that too. Let's go. Yeah. Let's shit on some movies. Me and Jeremy Griggs together. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Did you manage to see Superman yet?
No, I haven't. I keep meaning to go, but like I'm working really, really hard. This week is this weekend is a big weekend for us at All Caps Comics. So I haven't had a chance to get out to the movies, but I do want to see it. What did you guys think of it?
Man, I've seen it twice. First time I came out like, okay, pretty good. A couple things I didn't like about Superman himself. Second time I saw it, those things were still there, but overall, 8 out of 10. I'm really digging this movie, and I'm a big Superman fan.
Yeah,
it was a win for me, just based on no politics, no crazy weird stuff. It was all story, for better or worse. In places, it was all story, meant for story. Of course, my only thing is James Gunn. He doesn't let like a real serious scene happen without having some sort of comedy going on in the background. So that's just him though, but other than that, I mean, I had a fun time watching. Was it the best movie I've ever seen? No, but it was fun.
I just thought it was weird, like towards the end when him and Jimmy Olsen started making out. I didn't really understand that part. It seemed out of place, but that was 2025.
It isn't out of place though, because that's DC Comics already did that. Like DC Comics actively made both of them guy. So
Darth Scipio says EVS, WC Beers, and Griggs to the High Council. I remember that. The High Council. That was a lot of fun, man. Kind of died and went away though.
It was okay. It was. I really like Jeff. I like Jeremy. But Jeremy got mad at me because I kept being late for the show. I was like, "What? Me late? What are you talking about?"
Is that why you were on time for this one?
I've been on time ever since for things that don't involve putting comic books out. I'm punctual as a mofo. But yeah, like he told me, he said, "Listen, Ethan, He's like, this is our YouTube show. You got to be here on time. I see you as a puppy. I got to smack you in the nose with a rolled up newspaper to get you to behave. That's what I'm going to do. I said, man, you are Jeremy Griggs. You're exactly what people say you are. Stern leader of geeks and gamers.
His brand. Yeah.
Yeah, your brand is punctuality, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. But we didn't last much longer after that. As soon as you said, I'm going to smack you on the nose with a rolled up newspaper, I said, I mean, you could. My nose would probably handle that pretty well. But like, no, I don't.
Be an easy target.
Yeah. It's a good, you probably wouldn't miss.
Right.
But no, I don't, I think he took it more seriously than I did. I was just there to goof off. So he's obviously a better YouTuber, Being a YouTuber means creating content on time, creating lots of it, even when you have nothing to say, making something up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I want to tell my mods, just easy on the moderation tonight. We got the Comicsgate crowd here. Okay, there's going to be a lot of ball busting. Just let it fly. It's fine. It's okay. All right.
Comicsgate, please stand down.
No.
Stand by, and stand down. Okay. Thank you.
So, listen, I keep seeing people say online that you don't ship comic books, but I have like a 3-foot-long shelf there full of comic books that you have fulfilled from your Indiegogo campaigns.
Yeah, I shipped them all to you.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would ship them out.
That's
so that I have you on the show.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I got a list of people who are still waiting for theirs. So if you would just ship them to those people, I'd appreciate that.
You want me to do the head sketches?
Could you please? It's
Sure.
crazy. They're on the same thing over and over and over again. I'm a creative man.
Yeah, sketch something. All right, so tonight you are trying to get, what are you at? You got 1,600 people signing up for the latest campaign?
Thank you. Yeah, so this is Cyberfrog, guys. I just got a glimpse. I know this is an action figure show. We actually did make action figures of Cyberfrog, of Heather Swain. These two, I'll pull them up again. Here's our girl, Heather Swain.
She
all
is
caps
good,
comics. Knife on the hip, it's nice when you see a girl who has scissors or a knife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's a keeper.
Watch out. Just watch your mouth,
Right.
Cyberfrog and Heather Swain. So this Friday, we're the Cyberfrog IP, the Cyberfrog franchise, takes place in 2018 after an alien invasion that wiped out humanity. And Cyberfrog and a few humans who still survive, including Heather Swain, are living in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, right? And they're trying to deal with the Vespis. Cyberfrog has the ability to end the Vespis threat. He doesn't know what that means, but he has the ability within him to do it. But he landed on Earth in 1996, and that's when he started preparing, meeting the human race, fighting other supervillains, basically behaving like a kind of chilled out Spider-Man kind of character, or Spider-Man meets the Turtles. Well, people have wanted to see what Cyberfrog's 1990s adventures actually would be like, if they were told now when I know how to make comics. So that's what this is. Cyberfrog Frog Meets World #1 is going to be a quarterly series drawn by X-Men and Spider-Man artist Ben Herrera.
Nice.
A little bit of art from me, written by me. And then before that, there's something right there. Look at these two girls right here. See them? They're 13 years old. That's Heather Swain, Cyberfrog's friend at 13. And that's her friend, Anne O'Malley, who is a witch and an actual Satanist and has the powers. She's a daughter of Satan. She's got powers of the devil. And Heather doesn't know that. Heather's a good girl, but she thinks the best of everyone. This is called 1993, The Diary of Heather Swain. These are the 3 years before Cyberfrog arrives on Earth, when the Vespis are hypnotizing humanity. And this witch, this little trollop, this little strumpy serves the devil by summoning Deathfly. And Deathfly arrives, he's giant insectoid, satanic, kind of Egyptian insect monster that eats teenagers who like Pearl Jam and stuff like, because this is the 90s. So it's like, oh, you like the Spin Doctors, do you? Well, here you go, little miss, can't be wrong. And then chews them up and spits out their skeletons. Anyway, that's what Anne does. And Heather Swain is kind of like, like in the middle of all this. Like, why is Heather so important? And this is the prequel, the very first Cyberfrog prequel, 1993, The Diary of Heather Swain. We're launching these two books this Friday. These 2 comic books, and I would love to have your help. I'd love to have the audience's help. And what you could do is you could go over to the campaign here, this page that you're looking at. Scroll down. Let me see. See that? Look at Heather right there. There's Cyberfrog right there. See those? So if you sign up and you back the campaign, you're going to receive an exclusive trading card, and you're going to receive that Cyberfrog poster for free with your order. Okay. And if you didn't sign up, you're not getting them. So don't ask. And by the way, if you back more than once, you can have more than one of each of those things. So every order that you put in there, you're going to get another poster and a card. But once this is over and the sign up campaign comes down Friday morning, there's no more posters or trading cards. So they're going to be really nice Cyberfrog collectibles if you sign up. Anyway, do sign up and prepare to back. I want you to prepare yourself mentally. You know what I'm talking about, Laser Pants?
Yes, I do. Yes. Get ready. Set a reminder on your phone. The link is in the chat.
If you don't, I'm getting Jeremy Griggs to smack you all in the noses with newspapers. I need you guys to be disciplined and get ready to back this campaign. And let's make it a Comicsgate summer. It's going to be great.
And listen, I'm a huge Cyberfrog fan. I've read these books. So in the 90s, you were doing Cyberfrog with Harris Comics, right?
Yeah.
You did a collection of those called Cyberfrog Warts and All, right? Which is kind of like everything that you worked on in the 90s. Now, when you started Indiegogo in 2017, 2018?
18, yeah.
That was kind of a soft reboot of Cyberfrog?
Yeah, right? So the book is kind of an allegory. You know what an allegory is?
Yes, I do.
It's like a metaphor, a giant, a story that has a secret hidden meaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the 1990s, I really felt like comics and culture were at their apex. I really thought they were great. Comics were exciting. You would go to the comic book store and see Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and Dale Keown, who's a Comicsgater now. And everything looked exciting. You wanted to buy it. The art was beautiful. People were just making, it was almost like a creative chaos was in the air back then in the 1990s. And that's when Cyberfrog was born in 1996, literally in the book when he comes to Earth in 1996. It's the years line up. 1998, the book was canceled. I had to go work for DC. And Cyberfrog fell into a deep sleep in the real world too. 20 years later, 2018, Cyberfrog wakes up because he needs to. But in the meantime, during that 20-year span, comic books has been taken over by radical leftists who have largely made all the characters black and gay and female. For some reason, I don't know why. At the time, I remember working at DC, and they said some really weird things to me. They said, Ethan, I know you're a Republican. You're a Republican. They said, but that means you're a capitalist. And you care about money. And I said, sure. And they said, I want you to calculate roughly what percentage of the population is female. And I said, about 50% or more, because men die in wars. So it's maybe 51%. Right. They said, we're leaving 51% of the money on the table by not making Thor a woman. See, if we could make Batman gay, if we could make all of the female characters into queer lesbians, and then also make Iron Man a woman, then we would attract the female audience to come over here and read the books. And that would be 100% of the population. More money, Ethan. I said, I don't think that's how it's going to work. And they said, shut up. So anyway, so that all happened for 20 years, ruined comics. Right. Cyberfrog wakes up in 2018 to a decimated world, just like the comic book industry has been decimated. And the question is, how do we fix it? How do we fix the world that's been overtaken by aliens? How do we fix a comic book industry that's been overtaken by weirdos? These are two questions that coincide. It's the same question spoken through my characters. The Cyberfrog in the 90s, when I was working on Cyberfrog in the 1990s, I had utter creative freedom. I'm not saying the books were good. I was very young. But those books are hard to find now, and people want to read them anyway. So even though they're not strictly canon, I did collect them all in the omnibus called Cyberfrog Warts and All. complete Cyberfrog collection from the 90s, so that people wouldn't have to hunt them down. And I think issue 1's going for $450 right now, rather than do that. And if you want to read the stories, you can just you can get them here.
Yeah. This campaign is live right now. Ultra Cyberfrog, warts and all, oversized hardcover. Now I have the first edition you did, the not Ultra Cyberfrog, warts and all, but you know,
this one's going to be bigger. This one's like the dimensions are bigger, and then it's also, I think it's another 87 or 88 pages,
right,
as well. So it's 500 plus pages. So it makes it worth getting again, I think, and getting it bigger, because I think the first one, the one that you have, is comic book size, dimension wise.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's a very thick trade or a very slim omnibus. You know, you get a lot of artwork packed and story packed in there from the 90s. But the Cyberfrog now, like you were saying, is kind of an allegory for what the comic industry's been through, what you've been through. I was rereading Blood Honey and Wrecked Planet this week, and it is funny. The first time I read them, I don't think I'd heard you say that, right? But since then, you know, when you said it was an allegory for your experience in the comic industry and the destruction of the comic industry, and I'm reading it again, I'm like, oh my God, I'm picking up on it. And it's really clever the way you did some of it.
You wouldn't know, and you don't have to know that.
Right.
You don't have to like know that to read and enjoy the book. It's a superhero book about getting knocked down. It's
not political at all. Really.
No, there's no politics in it.
Right.
But it's a book about getting knocked down and failing and having to get up against overwhelming odds. It's like Rocky said. You know, it's like, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get up and keep moving forward. And I think to a large degree, that's what it's about with Cyberfrog in this situation. And it's also about, like, you know, in the second Cyberfrog book, he's looking at like the fact that the sky is filled with these aliens, and millions, billions of them potentially. And he's just one guy, okay? His brother's supposedly dead, and he's got this tiny little village, and he's like, I've got to fix the world. I've got to make this planet habitable for humans again. I've got to make the world a better place, because human beings, what do they want? I mean, I think they want freedom, and to live without fear. That's the ultimate human, you know, experience. Like, what is it that humans want? They want to be free to live without fear, and under those conditions, you can be happy. So Cyberfrog decides he does have to intervene, even after 20 years of failure. And he starts like with Heather's daughter. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to make her world better. And you see him teaching her to fish, playing baseball with her, playing chess with her, you know, being a big brother type of, even though he's this alien frog who's, you know, he wins her over by being irreverent to the leadership of the community. But and that's how we start, right? We have to find, you know, perverts are trying to get our kids at Disney, and we can't let them. We have to actually counter program by remembering that how to make things better is to find the kids and create wholesome and good stories for them to latch onto with super cool characters. And that could change the world. You know, just that in and of itself, when you actually just reach out and try to influence the next generation, you can't change the minds and hearts of adults who have decided that, you know, who bought into gender politics and race politics and all the things that I think make the world a worse place. But you can just start over again with the young generation and give them something to love, something to look forward to, something to enjoy that is good for them. Just like when we found Spider-Man as kids, just like when we found Superman. I found Superman. I went to go see the Superman movie in 1978. My dad took me. I was 4 years old, and changed my life. It absolutely changed my life to see that movie and set me on a path towards being a comic book creator, I think.
Did you guys go to the comic shop after, or when did you start reading comics?
I always had comic books around, but it wasn't until I remember in 1982, I lived near a drugstore, and I would go there and I'd buy Star Wars, Ghost Rider, and the Hulk. Those were my 3 books in 1982. But I don't remember reading them the way that we read comic books today. I remember just buying them and having them and flipping through them and just enjoying them. But It wasn't until I bought 1986 or 87. I bought Fantastic Four versus the X-Men, Chris Claremont, John Bogdanove, inked by Terry Austin. And it just opened up my eyes to the Fantastic Four, who I'd seen as a kid. And I kind of knew this guy's name is Mr. Fantastic. That's weird. But it was such a great mystery in that story. And everything is all about story. It's all about story and art that tells the story.
Absolutely.
The art is the storyteller. The writer is the person who creates the story. But in that story, Sue Storm finds Reed Richards' college journals, in which it's revealed that he carefully planned and created the spaceship in order to harness the cosmic rays to deliberately affect their bodies. It wasn't an accident. He actually built the ship that way on purpose. And so it's this massive betrayal of his family that he did this to him. It's okay for Sue, maybe. It's okay for Johnny. Johnny's powers are cool, but I mean, look at Ben Grimm. Like, his life, he's a deformed monster now, and his best friend did that to him. And then, the idea that they've got a kid together and Franklin Richards is going to have to grow up in this chaos in this strange world. So that's what the story reads like. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that. But there it is in my handwriting. So anyway, fantastic mystery. They meet the X-Men. The X-Men need Reed to do something, but Reed is filled with self-doubt because he doesn't know if he can trust himself anymore. You read a story like that, if that's your first comic book story, you're going to be hooked like I was. And comic books were 75 cents. I was scouring the couch cushions looking for quarters so that I could go buy West Coast Avengers or whatever it was that I was reading. And I was hooked. I was a Marvel zombie, I think, from then on. Only wanted to read Marvel books.
Who was your favorite artist in those days?
John Byrne, number one. Todd McFarlane came later. When I saw him draw the Hulk, I said, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And I did big forehead and like layered kind of teeth, the way that he drew teeth.
So
and
different.
I just started drawing McFarlane Hulk heads in my notebooks at school, and I was just absolutely obsessed with his art style. I felt like Todd McFarlane kind of said, "This is what you can do." Like, I'd seen other artists draw, I don't want to name names, but certain comic book artists of the time period in the 1980s who were drawing kind of flat and boring. And, it all kind of looked the same. Some was better than others. But Todd McFarlane said, you know what? I'm going to break the panel borders. I'm going to over detail things. I'm going to noodle things. I'm going to make things cartoony in places. And he kind of showed like what you were allowed to do in comics. Like you could rock this hard if you wanted to. So
it
Todd
came at a good time because even though I appreciate it more now, at the time I was kind of getting tired of the old house style that seemed to be, pervading everybody's art. And Todd McFarlane comes along and just kind of throws that up in the air. And this looks totally different. And it just it changed everything and got me back into comics again. And yeah, he just opened up the possibilities, and this is comics now, it's cool.
You would go to the comic book store and you would see the covers that he was doing for books, and they forced you to buy them. I haven't had that in a little while, where Todd McFarlane would draw story-centric covers that would draw your eye to them immediately, and you had to have them. You'd be like, oh my God, Ghost Rider and Hobgoblin are in this one or something, and Todd's drawing it. Spider-Man flipped all around and pumpkin bombs going off all around him. Amazing. Yeah. And we haven't really seen too much of that since. And I think that's the tragedy. I think at some point the comics industry suffered a little bit of a setback and a collapse around 1997 and really blamed it on making comics artist centric and not focusing enough on good stories. And I think they overcorrected. And they decided to kind of supplement. Yeah, it's all about like now. No longer are we going to have rock star artists who are encouraged to just push boundaries. Instead, we're going to focus on these British writers who are going to come in and tell really intense stories that are not very well drawn and don't really command you to buy them.
I'm convinced they get absolutely afraid of artists whenever they get their name out there too much. They'll hire people from third world countries and wherever they can, obscure places, because they can pay them less. they have no name and they can cut them off at any time, you know.
That is correct.
I
There
mean,
are plenty of Brazilians, especially like the Brazilian artists over there, and all of them are trained to draw just like American artists for a fraction of the amount of
and
money.
good on them for landing it. But I mean, for the American artists, like somebody like me who grew up around the same time you did, was really into comics, and you know, one day wanted to be a comic artist. You know, there's no, I just left the whole idea, and I do it on the side
Yeah.
because there was no way I was going to enter into a, you know, a business where I would be treated that way, you know.
But what a disaster and what a shame, because like, you know, if you're a creative person who needs to tell stories and draw stories,
Yep.
it's like, you know, business considerations stopping you from doing that, you know, feeling like you're not going to matter is a sin. I mean, you know, you should be drawing comics if that's what you're here to do.
Absolutely. And I do plenty of stuff on the side from my regular day job, but of course it's limited. I can't, like, you know, get on my pages. Take a little bit longer because I have a day job, but I'm just saying that you know, with all the stuff you've been talking about with the SJW things and all that, I mean, it was just an industry that, man, I finally got here to where I can get in, but do I want to? The way everything is, you know?
I don't blame you at all. I don't
I
blame
mean,
you at all.
yeah.
You know, it is that is how it is. I mean, it's, you know, it's a challenge. It is a challenge these days.
So were you fell in love with comics? Were you all self-taught with drawing, or did you go to an art school? Any formal training?
I was self-taught. My grandfather was an architect who designed much of downtown Phoenix. And my mom, his daughter, was a portrait artist. You know, she liked to draw portraits of us kids, and she's really, really good. And so, and then I've got my little brother Noah, who's a self-taught cartoonist too, who does kind of like Fantagraphics, slave labor style cartooning, autobiographical comics. And so, like, yeah, I think it's just in the blood. I think it's something that I was driven to do. I didn't have any formal training because there wasn't really any available to me. Although I took all the art classes I could in high school. I mean, that's,
yeah.
you know, and then I listened very carefully to whenever I asked an artist for criticism, especially when I was like 19 and just started drawing my own comic. I listened carefully. I took notes and tried to gather up as much knowledge as I could. So that I could grow a little faster. But, you know, I mean, art is, man, when you're a kid, you don't know how much you don't know. You really have no idea. As you learn to do, it's the Dunning-Kruger curve, right? So it's like, God, I believe, makes young men stupid so that they don't know. Like,
Right.
Like young men, like, you know, have no fear. That's why we send them into combat. You know, it's like they're just like they're going to live forever and all that stuff. But also when it comes to, drawing comics, they're not aware of how much there is to learn. So they have they're shielded by that level of kind of ignorance about how difficult drawing is, so that they can grow. Because if you actually knew, like if you suddenly just started from ground zero and then looked at Neil Adams or Brian Boland or Bernie Wrightson, you'd say, I'm never doing this. I'll never be good enough. But as you, as you get better, as you learn to draw a little bit better, as you learn, your awareness of how far you have to go also increases. So you become more humble and more willing to listen. And that's really, you know, yeah, hopefully
and that's a huge deal, is listening. Like when somebody gives you an honest opinion of your stuff, and not to just get mad and either throw it down and quit or hate on them for being honest with you. Take it to heart, write it down.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to help you, and they're being honest.
Learning art is ego destruction every single day.
Yes.
Every single day. And when you're young, like, you do need your stubborn ego. Like, I went into comics like, I can do this. And what I would do, Todd McFarlane said that he used to do the same thing. He would find a comic book artist that he didn't think was very good, and he would take a panel that that comic book artist drew, and he would draw it better. He'd be like, I drew better than this guy who stinks. And so that kind of thing builds up confidence. Okay. I mean, you're still like a moron for doing that, but it's like, it builds up your confidence so that you're like, well, I'm better than this guy who's a pro, at least at this one panel, I think. Slowly doing that will help you grow, but also eventually you're going to hit the real world where, somebody like Neil Adams, who is no longer with us, but Neil Adams was notorious for just breaking young comic book
ripping
artists.
people apart.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, you went to get criticized by him. And he told you exactly where you stood, and it was it humbled a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's good. I think coming up, people need that. At least one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So when you first broke into the industry, was there anyone like a hero of yours that you wanted to work with? Did you get a chance to work with? And did you end up regretting it? Like, oh man, this guy's an asshole.
Let me see. First of all, I had two. I had Todd McFarlane. So three people: Todd McFarlane, Dale Keown, and then Brian Boland. And so, when it comes to Brian Boland, he was the first one to kind of break my heart because he lives in England, and he's just my favorite artist. And New York City Comic Con, the guy who runs it was like, we got Brian Boland coming in, and Ethan, you're sitting in the same booth as him. You're welcome. And I was like, whoa! So I was working on Sinestro Core War at that point, which was my Eisner nominated artwork. Okay. Yeah. And I had a, photocopied booklet of it, sat next to him, talked to him. He autographed my Rapidograph pen, and he couldn't have been more of a gentleman. And the unfortunate thing is he started following me on Facebook, and I am a Second Amendment advocate. Okay. I believe in gun rights, and I love guns. So he saw that, and one day he said, I can't follow you anymore. Your gun politics make me sick. And he's like, I got to just block you. And so I was like, lost Brian. We were friends up until then, but it's always politics, right? Guns in England. They have a real problem with guns in England. So there was that. Todd McFarlane offered me a job. 2010, people heard that my contract was up at DC. And Todd's girl reached out to me and said, Todd would like to sit with you at Phoenix Comic Con, and we have a gig for you. We'd like you to draw Spawn. And I said, I remember thinking, I don't want to draw Spawn. Like I said, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to work at either Marvel or DC. I'm not going to work for Todd McFarlane, at least not in 2010. Maybe now I would, when he's really blown up his company quite a bit. But I said, I don't want to do that, but I do want to take the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Todd McFarlane all to myself for about 30 minutes, and he couldn't have been nicer. And I said, I'm gonna have to say no to the job offer, but man, I enjoyed meeting you, and thank you for offering.
Man, I wish Bobby was here because he has a great story about meeting Todd McFarlane when he was 11 years old.
Oh, he's so good with fans. He's just so good. Yeah.
Not this story.
Oh, really? No.
So Bobby's, I think his dad knew someone that knew Todd, and they were at a convention, and they, they were in the back green room or something, and they say, hey Todd, could you sign something for this kid here? Bobby's 11. Todd looks at him, says, I don't have time for this shit, and walked away.
Oh. Yeah. Something must have been going on. That's
something.
Yeah, he was having a bad day. You guys, he really is like, he takes time especially for kids.
That's mostly what I've seen, just seeing him interact at conventions and stuff. He seems pretty cool.
Oh, Bobby was 11 back then. So this was in the 90s when Todd was driven nuts by the demands placed on him. So, okay.
Right.
The other one was Dale Keown, and Dale Keown used to give me his phone number, and I'd call him up, and I'd get his girlfriend on the phone. And she would let me talk to Dale while I was drawing Cyberfrog. And I asked if, he would do a cover for Cyberfrog. He said no. In the 90s, he couldn't do it. And now he's one of my friends. He's in Comicsgate. I talk to him all the time. He's done dozens of Cyberfrog covers. And so he's the best outcome, I think, out of all the three artists that I really wanted to meet. I've been a fan of Dale's since Hulk, since Peter David's Hulk run. Big fan.
That's awesome. I'm just glad that he's working with Mandy Summers to get the pit trade out, and then eventually a pit omnibus.
Thank God. Yeah. It's a shame. It's like, you have something like that. Like, everybody would like a pit omnibus. Everybody would like a collected edition of all the pit books, especially some of the rare ones. And it really is kind of a shame that before it was put in the hands of somebody who couldn't get it done. So it's good that Mandy Summers, who got, who just put out her first Dale Keown book, Gem Shock, just came out. It's got Pit is back by Dale Keown. It's good that she's doing it, I think. And I think everybody agrees.
Oh, yeah. Bullet says, let's talk about your good pal, PT Plagiarizer. I don't know if you want to. You're doing Trashcast later tonight. I mean, you're more than welcome to, because I shit on him all the time over here.
Oh, do you on this show?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate him.
I think my appearance on this show should be positive. I don't have
fair enough
nice things to say about him. I just
me
don't.
neither.
I wish I did. You know what I mean? I'm somebody who's forgiving. I don't have nice things to say about him, so I'd rather just not say anything on this show.
Zakanin says, hail Comicsgate and Uncle Lee.
Hello, thanks.
Andrew Sabina says, I love a good crossover. Drew G, behold the human sunbeam. Art G, go Phillies.
Yeah.
How are they doing?
I haven't watched the Phillies game in about a week. So, and I'm there, man, every time I turn my eyes away, they start losing really bad. They just did a series with Houston, I don't think. Or no, was it Houston or was it the Padres? I can't remember. One of those two teams, because I have some people in our space that are big fans of those two teams and make fun of me when the Phillies play them and lose. So,
okay.
Kind of the same to me.
Holy hell. My God, man, look at this.
What?
Wow.
Spec Ops Labs. Holy shit. With the $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Spec Ops Labs. I appreciate you so much. He says, gentlemen, hope y'all have a great podcast. As always, appreciate the continued content. Thank you so much, Spec Ops Labs. Love you, man.
Thank you, 3POA fans.
We got Stan Lee here. Thank you, Quentin. All right, Spec Ops Labs. Thank you so much, man. That's insane. We got Lord of Brooklyn, BK for life. Thank you, Hale. Are you coming to New York Comic Con? Probably not. But how about this part? And what are your memories of the late Jim Shooter?
I never met him.
Really?
Really?
I never met him.
Wow.
No, I'm sure I had some opportunities, but honestly, like it's not as though when Jim Shooter was doing what he was doing, I wasn't aware of him. I was aware of the writers and artists and the characters, not of the EIC who was orchestrating all this and making Marvel so wonderful. So I never had an interest in meeting him, and I never went out of my way to do so, and I regret it now.
That was me. I was only aware and appreciated him after he had already done all the things that he did,
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
JL74, Heather is as hot as Megan Fox in her prime. Did you model her after Megan Fox? Oh, maybe a little?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I do. Actually, no. She's modeled after Jennifer. Last name begins with a C. Why can I remember it? Connolly, Jennifer Connolly.
Oh yeah.
In the '90s when she was at her peak, I think of Jennifer Connolly when I draw her. But Megan Fox would be good at playing old lady Heather. If Megan, if we did Heather Swain in her 40s, I guess Megan Fox could do it.
Jetto Jagus has sent Alex Sanchez the link. I actually did invite him, but he's not doing well. He's sick. He's under the weather, so he couldn't be here, but he wanted to.
Yeah, I'm getting over it.
Yeah. Figure Fight Club, feeling froggy. Wow, 1 year. Thank you for being a member for 1 year. Let's see. Your house Hendo says, EVS, I fell off on backing a few Cyberfrog issues. Will you be doing a trade paperback volumes campaign or release on all caps in the future?
So one of the things that we have on the Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination campaign is a phone book of I think it's what do I call it, like Red Blood Wrecked or something like that. But it has all of the books leading up to Cyberfrog 3 collected in kind of a cheap phone book. I'm going to put that same book. It's on the Cyberfrog 3 campaign, but I'm going to put that same book on this weekend's campaign so that you could get it there. You could get it. Yeah, it's here. If you scroll down, you'll see it.
You say like a phone book, like it's got the newsprint paper?
No, it'll
And
be
I
better
let her-
than that. It'll be
Okay.
better than that. I'm just saying it's not a nice hardcover or anything. It's
Right,
just going
I
to be
got you.
thick. It's going to be like, I mean, my God, 200, 300 pages. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's the plan. But I'll put that same book on this campaign too. So
It'll be here
yeah,
on
you'll be able to catch up
on Frog Meets World. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. We got oh snap! Thank you, EVS. Any lessons learned from your foray into making action figures? Will you do another wave? And when will Valiverse be doing the new waves?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby, call me up if you'd like to. Yeah, right now we're what I learned from making the first round of Cyberfrog and now Rainbow the Brood action figures are still underway. We're still kind of chopping away at those. It takes a long time for a little toy maker like myself to perfect them and get them to be perfect. I learned it's extremely expensive.
Yes.
I learned that your warehouse needs to be ready to handle the volume of toys. I had to buy a whole new rent, but I had to get a whole new warehouse to handle the Cyberfrog toys. And I learned that no matter where you go, what factory, it's never going to look as good as the Paint Master. But it doesn't matter. You still have to push those ladies. I don't care if you're getting paid 2 cents an hour, ma'am. I understand that 2 pennies American goes pretty far over there in Hong Kong. Get to work. I saw the Heather Swain Paint Master was absolutely beautiful. This is like the finished. I don't know if you're not going to be able to see her face.
That's
okay. It's not going to come into focus. But they sent me this horrible version of it where she had big doll eyes, big oval shaped eyes painted on with a little black dot in the middle. And her mouth was just a little dot of red. She looked like she looked awful. She really looked terrible. And I went back and I screamed at those women. I said, "This is how you do it." I said, "Look at the Paint Master." I said, "It's better look like this Paint Master for what we're paying you here." And it looked better. It looked better. And I said, "Look, I gave them a whole. You have to get in there and you have to show them. You have to say, under the eye is a stroke of black. Over the eye is a stroke of black. Get in there and paint the pupil and the little highlight and all that stuff." So we ended up, it went back and forth, just trying to get the final product to be as good as it could possibly be. So a lot of work, but I mean, you only really get one shot at it. And the fans gave us I think $800,000 to make these. So, it's like you get one shot, dude, get it right. We made Cyberfrog. We made the Vespis here. We made Heather Swain, 2 different Cyberfrogs, and they're perfect. They really came out great. You can get them, by the way, if you don't have the Cyberfrog action figures yet, you can get them. They are available on my eBay store, and they're on sale right now for 40% off because I didn't change the prices from the.
Oh, they're still 40% off, and I do have the link there in the.
I haven't changed them back yet.
The mods will get that in the chat to the eBay.
Whoops.
Let's see here. We'll take a few more questions and then let's see here. 610 Yojo Daddy. Mr. Van Sciver, your work on Green Lantern is beyond compare. Thanks for sharing your unbridled talent to the world.
Thank you.
Ken's Toys. Thanks for the member chat. What's the status with Rainbow the Brute?
Rainbow the Brood is our bottlenecked project. When I was still early in crowdfunding and really had no idea how long things would take to make, you kind of go, well, it would only take me half a year to draw the comic book. But as it turns out, it doesn't. There's so much more involved. And then, launching Wreck Planet turned out to be a way bigger campaign than anybody ever thought. I doubled the length of the book. So Rainbow the Brute is the book that has to come out next. It's the book I'm working on right this second. It's got 2 books. Actually, it has 3 books with it. One is finished. But Rainbow the Brute is what would happen if girls' toy properties of the 1980s were masculinized rather than women coming in and feminizing boys' toy properties, which is what they did with Star Wars and He-Man and everything else. We're going to take Care Bears. We're going to take Rainbow Bright. We're going to take Strawberry Shortcake. We're going to take the Smurfs. We're going to take all of these characters and IPs, and we're going to make them high T masculine. Rainbow the Brute is a drunken fairy barbarian whose son was raised by women, and he's got to teach his son to be a man. while he reclaims the stolen orbs of power. So this is, oh, by the way, these are the Rainbow the Brute action figures that we got underway right now too. So there he is. There's Rainbow the Brute.
Is the comic still open to back as well on your Indiegogo?
Yeah. I'm gonna finish it up, and then I'm gonna let it run for another week with maybe a new cover, and then close it out and get that thing done. We got a lunchbox to make. I've got glow in the dark, I've got scratch and sniff unicorn heads that are pencil toppers that are really fun. We got all kinds of cool stuff. Look at this. You can get that head there and a Tommy gun. But this is the way the book looks. Go over there and reserve your copy of it. When this book is done, I will be very, very, very relieved. They really come after you for that one, man. Well, they have every right to. I mean, it's late. The book is late, and it's a whole other mindset. When I'm working on Rainbow the Brood, it's a different mindset than Cyberfrog. A much different mindset that I have to get into. I enjoy it. I enjoy drawing Polly Pocket. That Rainbow the Brute had a one night stand with Polly Pocket. If you've ever seen a Polly Pocket figure, they have one hinge so they can sit down, but he doesn't make her sit down. He bends her over. And so his son his name Shiro Pocket. It's Polly Pocket and his the result of a one night stand. Total sissy. Shiro. Shiro, yeah. He looks like he looks very similar to the She-Ra redesign that was done. Remember the cartoon? Except he's a boy, like that actually looks like. So
Jeremy J says sequential storytelling will always be a visual medium. We need rock star artists.
Yes.
David Bruce, thanks for the super chat. Here's a tip, Ryan, for having such an awesome guest on tonight. I've been listening to Ethan for a while. He's done to comics what Bobby did to action figures.
I agree.
Wow, thank you.
I hope Bobby doesn't ever hear that, because
Bobby is such an admirable fellow. They did send me over a big crate of those toys, and I was like, wow, I don't know how he does this.
You were opening those on a live stream, and I happened to be up. It was like 2 a.m. where I'm at, because I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And you started opening up Action Force figures. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I started texting Bobby at 2 a.m, which is 5 a.m. his time. I'm like, dude, Ethan's opening up your figures right now. He's like, holy shit.
They're so good. They're lightweight. Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I'm like, why are your figures so light? That's the one thing I remember. Like Cyberfrog is heavy. Cyberfrog is he has a lot of heft to him. But yeah, like his torso feels like it's hollow. So
it is.
Air in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 pieces and then they're sonically welded together. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cool things about them, the being able to pop and swap parts on them and stuff, and even more now with the arms and all that, just being able to take them apart, mix and match them and stuff. It's really awesome.
Let's see here. Ken's Toy says the fact that Stephen Butler, Aaron Presti, and countless others are considered not up to stuff for Marvel or DC is a fucking disgrace. Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Well, yes, but I mean, then again, we're old. You know what I mean? It's okay if they're going to move us out of the way for young talent to come in, because somebody had to be moved out of the way for me to come in. So I understand at some point, John Byrne, who I admire very much, had a 20-year career. It seems like much longer than that, right? Because he did so much stuff, but his career was ending right when I got at DC Comics, like his mainstream career. He did Wonder Woman and then he was out and hasn't been back. So I had a 20-year career too at DC and Marvel, and I'm grateful for it. And that's it. And it's time to do something else and let the kids come in and draw a Spider-Man or whatever it is. We have I think Comicsgate is like a really good solution for somebody like Aaron Lopresti. You're going to continue making comics. We're going to keep making comics until I'm 80 years old, if God lets me live that long. 80 years old. This is a good way to keep doing it. Okay. Or, just depending on the fans to fund it. And just doing the best work I can for the rest of my life. And Aaron, too, Graham Nolan, Dale Keown, John Malin, Shane Davis, everybody in Comicsgate, I think, feels that way.
Yeah. Jeremy J., thank you. Uncle Ethan is a toy collector. I've seen his Rose Tico collection. Yeah.
Yeah, but most of my toys are my own. Like, I mean, if you look behind me there, you could just see, like, I think the Rainbow the Brood is back there somewhere. Cyberfrog Heather, nice Cyberfrog bust. That statue of Heather holding the walking on the train tracks there and holding a severed Vespis head. We're going to try to do that.
Oh, I hope so.
Let me just show you.
Yeah.
This is the big thing that everybody's waiting for. That we're ready to go. We have it mocked up, and I mean, I would love to see what Bobby would have to say about this. We're going to need $1 million. $1 million.
Oh man, I'm telling you, when you put this up, I'm buying 2.
Salamandroid. Salamandroid will be 18 inches tall, fully posable. He is going to be in proportion to the Cyberfrog toy, and we got him ready to go. I got the sculpt. This sculpt isn't. I guess I grabbed a picture that wasn't quite finished yet. He doesn't have his armor on, but this is the Salamandroid sculpt, and very anxious to do this. I don't know if this is the year. I don't know if people have the spending money for this right now, but as soon as I feel like the economy is a little bit better, we're going to do this. We're going to do Salamandroid. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. So I hope when we do that, if you'll bring me back and let me try to sell it to your audience, I'd really appreciate it.
Anytime you want to come back and promote an action figure campaign, like the door's open. You have made a Salamandroid toy before.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
It is.
Great.
This is how long is this bendy wire tail?
I think that's 24 inches long.
Dude, it's huge. It's amazing. Now this is
our first toy. Yeah.
This is a vinyl toy, so it's not articulated, but the tail is.
Yeah, PVC with the one bit of playability that we gave it was that. Yeah, like I got this. We made so much money on Wreck Planet. We were selling $25 comics. And the comics cost about $8 to make, okay, because they're chromium. So the books are expensive, but that still leaves a lot of leeway. I've still got $17 to spend with that $25. So I said, let's make a little, I mean, you could tell it's expensive. Yeah, you can tell. But we ended up making these tiny little Cyberfrog PVC figurines that we were able to give away to everybody who backed the $25 tier, because we hit like $1.46 million on that campaign. And since we did that, I said, let's make a Salamandroid. We'll give the Cyberfrog away for free, and then we'll sell the Salamandroid for like $25. And it was a big success, absolute big success. I hope we can do that again. I don't know if we're going to be able to do something like that on this little campaign, but we could. It depends on the amount of support and funding that we receive. I don't like to when you make that much money, I like to spend it. I like to actually make more things and give them away to the people who invest value. Yeah.
An 18-inch fully articulated Salamandroid toy. The tooling on that is, the tooling is 6 figures. It's crazy. It is. I'm told I need about $1 million to do it. So I got to sell them for like $300 or $400, something crazy. And then I got to sell a certain number of them. So I got to do a sign up list to make sure that we've got that many customers who are in line and ready to make it happen, because you can only take one shot at it. I don't know if you saw PTP. He did Patrick Thomas Parnell. He launched an action figure on Kickstarter. He was looking for $95,000, and he ended up raising about 9 or 10,000. So he failed, and he brought the campaign down. He's like, I'm going to launch it again later. And I said at the time, I said, you get one shot at this. You launch it again, and that's stale. You're not going to do better the second time. You'll do worse. And he did. He put it up in Indiegogo, and he had 2 backers. So he had to pull it down in shame. So you only really get one shot at it, which means you need to prepare. You need to do the footwork. You need to do the research. And you need to make sure that you have the audience who's interested in that action figure, who knows how much it's going to cost. Make sure they have plenty of time to save up that money. And then, give them a good 2 months to get that money together. So I don't know if it's this year. It might be next year, but we are going to do it. I promise you. Cyberfrog's brother will get made, and he's going to be like this big. Yeah, I'm all for it. You've heard of HasLab. You have the sail barge. The HasLab.
I had the sail barge. I bought the Sentinel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I got 3 of those things over there, and then I got the big ass Galactus.
Oh, I didn't buy him. I wish I did. The Galactus, and then I got the popcorn bucket. Back there. See, that's more to scale with the action figures.
Yeah,
right.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So, what can we call it? All Caps Lab or something? Has All Caps Lab? Salamandroid. I really want Salamandroid to happen. Like selfishly, I just want that toy.
I do too, but I know that if we launch it right now, we'll fail and we won't be able to do it again. I feel it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this campaign is going to be the type of thing to create some enthusiasm. We have people who are hoping we always have people who are hoping Comicsgate is dead or is going to die. We always have that. And then we always kind of show up and show out and just show these people that Comicsgate's alive and vital. We're the Death Star. You know, you underestimate us. We're fully functional. So we'll see what happens with this campaign. Shane Davis just had a big success with Anatomic, raised 6 figures. I think we can make some believers. I think we can build some believers, and then at that point, you know, we can launch a Salamandroid action figure campaign and make that thing happen.
And in the meantime, Cyberfrog, Frog Meets World, #1 in 1993, Heather Swain. Friday it goes live. Sign up on Indiegogo. The link is in the chat there. I really want this to happen. I'm looking forward to reading the new. This is kind of a rewrite of the previous 90s stuff you did, right? It's kind of the new canon.
Yeah, like I'm taking every single character that was in the 90s books, and I'm putting them back, but I'm recontextualizing them so that they actually make sense. Because I was making up the 90s series as I went along. I didn't have really a story in mind. I really had no idea. It was just chaos. It was inspired by Milk and Cheese and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just really didn't have a clear story, but now I do. So one thing that you want to do is you want to make as much of it that happened in the 90s have happened in those books, but do it the right way. Even the kids who got eaten by Deathfly in those early books are Heather's high school friends. So you're actually the victims of Deathfly that were eaten. Deathfly ate this one choir kid and spit his skull out. It still had his braces on it. That kid is in the book. Like, all of these characters are real. They're in the book. You'll say, I recognize that kid from the Hall of Heroes #1 or #2. And they're Heather's classmates. So it's going to be fun. I mean, especially if you've read the 90s stuff, there's a lot to look at and a lot to recognize and a lot to love. But once we're finished these prequel books, we'll finish the Heather Swain prequel. If Cyberfrog, Frog Meets World is successful, we'll probably run that 4 issues and then break it into an ongoing series where it's quarterly. We just have to get artists who are capable of producing work that quickly so that we can keep Cyberfrog around in the 90s. And then I'm going to work on the current, post-apocalyptic series. I think it's
Diary.
good.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think people are enjoying the story right now, especially after Dark Harvest.
Yeah, I haven't cracked into Dark Harvest yet. I just got it 2 days ago, but I'll probably do that tonight.
Oh, good.
Let's see here. We got I wanted to ask you a question. The Diary of Heather Swain, 1993. Is that Sven Stoffel's drawing that one?
No, the first one is Stefani Rene, who was a very realistic artist. He was a Star Wars artist over at Marvel. Believe it or not, he drew Solo. He drew the Solo comic adaptation. It's really synchronicity, and now he's working for me. So he's the artist of that book with Kyle Ritter on colors. Awesome. And I can't get him to do the whole thing because he, as an artist, he belongs to my friend Matt Martin, who has him coloring Snowman. So Matt was kind of upset with me that I was having, Stefani draw when he's supposed to be coloring for me, dude. So I have to let him go. And then I found Sven Stoffels, who has a more animated style. But he's going to be the regular Heather Swain artist until such time as, he no longer wants to do it. But he's committed to doing 94 and 95.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. 200 Watt Studio. Thank you for the 2. Where are the white women at? Let's go. Darth Scipio said EVS made the Rose Tico action figure a bestseller. I did see him kind of drying up after you started cutting him in half.
Yeah, people were buying it. They wanted to cut her in half too.
I remember Jeff Hicks got sent 30 of them or something.
Wow. A bouquet of roses. Yeah. They were
roses, yeah. Doomed Han, thank you for the super chat. Hey Laser Pants, hey EVS.
Hey.
This is I don't even know if you want to comment on this, but Impossible Pie says, what are EVS's thoughts on Liefeld not finishing his Kickstarter or Liefeld himself?
My opinion of Rob is that Rob starts projects and doesn't finish them. and he's always been that way. He's more about the announcement than he is the completion of the project. So it does surprise me, though, that he didn't finish his Kickstarter. He does need to do that. It's just one comic book. What do I think of him? I mean, what everybody thinks of him. My thoughts about Rob Liefeld are not unique. I used to call him Bob. He didn't like that. I'd say, nobody calls me Bob, Ethan. I said, well, I do. That's how you remember me. So I think he has me blocked on Twitter. You know,
me too, dude. Yeah. He blocked me on Twitter. Check this out. So someone was ragging on him, or he was commenting on that picture of Captain America that he drew from Wizard magazine. Right.
He's still coping over that.
The ridiculous chest. I actually kind of defended it a little bit. I said, if you remove that shield, it wouldn't look so bad. It just it hides some of, I was being nice. Blocked.
Yeah.
Freaking blocked me.
Yeah.
I probably thought you were
very sensitive,
throwing some shade.
I wasn't. I was, and I'm not a Rob Liefeld fan. Alex Sanchez is, and we fight about it all the time. But
yeah, John Malin is too. Has a lot of respect for him.
Yeah,
I like Rob Liefeld's work in the sense that it's high energy, and it's not good. It's never really. I've never been like, wow. I've never said wow looking at a Rob Liefeld comic. I've always immediately seen that it stinks. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I always used to say, like, to defend Rob Liefeld, like the Sex Pistols knew 3 guitar chords. Some of them only knew 2. And they still managed to rock. So it's not about like it's not always about your knowledge and your education and your ability. It's as long as you can rock, you're okay. And Rob Liefeld can rock. You look at those extreme books and they do just explode on the page. So, that's why he has fans. You have to give it up to him, but he needs to finish his Kickstarter.
I'm told that he revolutionized the comic book industry. That's what Alex Sanchez always tells me.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Let's see here.
I say this. I mean, you can't deny his place in the history of everything, But as far as some of the credit that some people give him, I don't think that's well founded.
You guys ever see him make fun of Todd McFarlane?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Todd Father here.
It's funny. He does his voice real well.
This is the new Batman Samurai.
You're muted. Oh, you were showing something. Oh, I'm sorry. Play it again. I didn't get to see it.
I think there's a little
Todd Father here, bringing you the latest in the Todd McFarlane. This is the new Batman Samurai. Batman Samurai, kind of cool. Got some cool shit here and there and in a package. And I make them a little bigger so they don't match up with their Hasbros. Just to fuck with you. Because that's what I do. I fuck with people. Turn on the light. Anyway, everybody, this is the new Samurai Batman, looking cool. Gonna come up with the 2-pack and the 3-pack and the 4-pack and the 5-pack. Gotta go buy my toys.
That was great. That was a good skit.
He does a good job. Snap says Brute alt head looks like LP, like me. Just got a super.
I thought so too.
That looks like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need a royalty for that thing then. Let's see here. Hammertron says spitting out a skull sounds like a weird action feature for an action figure. What?
That would be cool. Yeah, if we made a Deathfly action figure and he could, spit out a skull.
Yeah, the thing about Deathfly and Scorpion and all those guys, that's a lot of tooling costs, man. And there's not a lot of. Every toy manufacturer, every toy company has to reuse molds. They have to do repaints of the same molds and to get their money out of it. And it's kind of hard to do that when it's someone is. They're all stylistically designed as Scorpion.
Yeah,
there's not like another version of Scorpion,
Yeah, you got to just do them one at a time. I mean, we want to do Chelsea, like the robot, Cyberfrog's robot mother at some point. I don't know if we're going to be able to because it really is making toys is a long process for me. It's a big challenge. I don't want to screw up. I've seen some really terrible attempts at amateur action figures.
Yeah,
we don't ever want to be that. We want you to get your action figure and go, these are as good as Hasbro. Hasbro being like the mid ground of like, this is a quality mainstream toy. They're not McFarlane toys are kind of at Hasbro level right now too. But you think they're better than Hasbro, McFarlane, or no?
No, no, I'm not a fan of McFarlane's
No.
toys. I'll buy a few here and there. Like I have like the Anti-Monitor. I like the
Mhm.
big ones. I have Atrocitus, but when it comes to Batman, Robin, Superman, like the
The
sizes
paints
on them
are
are
weird. That's the
yeah,
other thing. The faces are weird. Paint jobs.
proportions. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
he is stepping some things up. He's doing like wired capes now, soft goods wired capes, so you can pose the capes.
Mhm.
But for the most part, now this year, I gotta say, I saw this and I did have to buy it because he did a great job on the Silver Age Superman.
Yeah,
It's
that
one of
looks
the
great.
best. Yeah, it's one of the best in my collection.
See that face? Yeah, the face is good.
It's good. Yeah, clean paint. Again with the wired cape.
Yeah,
you can
he's
pose it
had some
around.
winners, especially here lately with Cyborg, Superman, and
Yeah.
some of those. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been improvements.
And
for
now he's
sure.
losing it back. He's losing the license to Mattel next year. So
Yeah.
he starts to improve, and they're taking it away from him.
I don't know what else he can do. I mean, he's done like every different kind of weird variant of Superman and Batman. He did all those metal, Scott Snyder metal figures. And I'm like, when are these going to stop? Because they're horrible. There are 11 teen versions of the Joker. It's like enough.
It went on and on.
Jokerized. Yeah.
Dark Knight Death Metal. They started that story about the time you left, didn't they?
I worked on it.
Oh, you did?
I did. I did the Green Lantern Batman.
Oh, yeah.
One shot. I can't remember what it was called, but I drew that, and I still get royalties for that. It's crazy.
Oh, nice. Good.
And then I did a 4-part cover, connecting covers, 4 of them. I can't remember what that was about either, but it involved the those Batmen of many worlds or whatever, metal Batman.
Yeah, he puts out about 50 Batman figures every year. Okay, Andrew Campbell wants to know, Ethan, where do you get your ideas from?
I steal them from John Malin.
Perfect. That's a good place for ideas. He's got some good ones. Yeah. All right. You got anything else, Quentin?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I've really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to back this.
Well, I mean, people say Ethan's out there begging for money again, and for real, I am. Like, that's what crowdfunding is. So I'm out there saying right now, I am begging everyone in this chat to go sign this campaign, sign up for it, get on the email list, and then prepare yourself for this weekend to back Cyberfrog, Frog Meets World, and 1993 Diary of Heather Swain. And get on board Cyberfrog. People say, is this a good jumping on point? Yes, these are the first 2 prequel books. So you could read these, and then you could jump ahead and read the books that I'm drawing right now. If you want to, you could buy Blood Honey and Wreck Planet and everything else. But yeah, this is a great jumping on point. We love to see this campaign succeed gloriously like Cyberfrog books usually do. Get on board and be proud of this character because I think this is one of the best IPs in the crowdfunding space, if I do say so myself, in the entire indie space. It belongs to Comicsgate. And that means you. This is your character. You guys made this happen, and I'll always treat you that way. I'm not looking to sell it to Netflix. I'm not looking to sell it to Disney. It belongs to us. So back it and support Cyberfrog. Read the stories. Tell me what you think. And thanks again. Thank you again. I know it's going to be big. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. I thank you so much for coming on. This is a lot of fun. I hope it went well.
I had fun. It was good.
Okay, good. Then let's get that Salamandroid figure. Let's get that started. Have you back on because I want one real bad.
Next year. Let's do it next year.
Next year. Thank you so much, Ethan. Quentin, what are you working on?
Right now, I'm working on Mississippi Macabre. It's a independent book that it's about to kickstart. I've got about 9 pages and a cover for it. I'll throw a link up that it's on Facebook right now. You can go take a look at. So that's what I've been working on, and a lot of various other things I can't talk about with packaging and IP stuff that's yet to be revealed. So I can't really say anything about any of it. So
cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for filling in for Bobby. He was being a loser. So
no problem.
I said hello. Big fan.
Yeah, I will. I will. And thank you. Are you going to fire up a stream?
I will. Are you going to close the show or should I leave and you're going to carry on? How's it work?
No, I'm going to close it down so I can go watch Trash Cast.
Nice.
Yeah. So maybe is the link up for that yet?
No, I'm gonna go. I'll probably change my clothes, shower, and then I like to do a costume change in between. I did this. I did graybeards earlier. I got to change my clothes every time.
Okay.
I don't know why. Superstition.
That's all good, man. All right.
Bumpy Johnson's in the chat. I need to block him. I need to block Bumpy Johnson. He said, I block everybody who has genuine criticism of me. I gotta block Bumpy. He's genuinely critical of me. I'll get you, Bumpy. Don't you worry. Thanks, guys. We'll see you over at Trashcast. All
right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And subscribe if you're new. If this is your first time watching 3POA, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Good night, everybody.
Yo, this one's for Laser Pants, the king of the stream, ripping mics on 3POA, living the dream in the face of hate. He's raw, gritty, and real. Let's bark at the haters, tell them how we feel. Laser Pants, man, he's running the game. Action figure goat, putting on the shame. With Bobby Valor, they spit fire, no cap. 3POA podcast where the real ones clap. Informative, dropping knowledge on the toy scene. Entertaining like a flick on a big screen. From Mayfex joints to Mezco's dope flare. Marvel Legends stack, yo, they don't compare. Action Force rising, Jada Street Fighter kick, Savage Crucible Heat, collecting the pics, unboxing that fire, every figure's a thrill. Laser and Bobby keeping it real. Where my collectors at? Throw them hands up high. Laser Pants and Bobby, they the truth, no lie. 3POA, bring the heat, no chill. Real talk, no shills, keep it raw, that's the deal. Viper Island's a clown. We call them out, never backing down. Viper Island, man, what a joke, what a fraud. Lying like a cup, getting dissed by the squad. Talking big game, but he's losing a plot. Laser Pants roast him, leaves him tied in a knot. No cowards here, they don't duck from the fray. Controversy, they'll slay, let the truth light the way. Calling out the fakes, yeah, they swing that blade. Ain't afraid of your tears, watch your feelings fade. No shills in this camp, they don't bend for the cash. Spitting facts on the mic, leaving haters in ash. From the streams to the pod, they the voice of the streets. For the figure collectors, they the ones that we need. Where my collectors at? Throw them hands up high. Laser Pants and Bobby, they the truth, no lie. 3POA, bring the heat, no chill. Real talk, no shills, keep it raw, that's the deal. Viper Island's a clown. They call him out, never backing down. Viper Island's crying, yo, he's lost in the sauce. Talking trash online, but he's taking a loss. Laser Pants last, man, you're weak, take a seat. Bobby chimes in, yo, your lies can't compete. They don't bow to the drama, they don't flinch at the hate. Real collectors, know they serving up plates. Every stream's a banger, every pod's a gem. Laser and Bobby, yeah, the best of the men. No filter, no fear, they don't cater to clowns. If you're acting like a fool, they'll shut you down. From the figures to the facts, they the voice of the game. 3POA forever, etch it into the fame.